When you experience infidelity in your marriage, it can literally turn your world upside down. If you've dealt with that, or maybe you're going through that now, and you've decided to stay together and make it work, then this video is for you. I work with couples all the time who want to save their marriage, and I'm here to tell you that if both of you truly want the marriage to work, then it can. If you haven't decided for sure that you want to stay and work on it, then this video is not for you. This video is for those who've already decided to stay, but they're unaware how to do that, okay? It's about taking your marriage from surviving after infidelity to thriving. The fact that you've experienced this devastating reality and decided to work on it, number one, first, I want to applaud you. That's not an easy thing to do. That's not an easy decision. But I want to give you some tips to help you get off the struggle bus and onto a better marriage. You need to believe that you can have a better marriage and a better one than it was before. The marriage you had before, it's gone, it's dead, it's over. You're going to create something new. Okay? Couples who are successful at navigating these troubled waters end up with a stronger and more intimate marriage, typically. Now, I'm going to give you 5 tips for the cheater. I'm gonna give you 5 tips for the victim or the one who was cheated on. And then I'm gonna give you 5 tips for you guys as a couple, for the marriage, okay? So first, for the cheater, number 1, you need to become a transparent person. If you're not already a transparent person, you need to become a transparent person, not just an honest person. Honesty is when you tell the truth when you're asked. But transparency is about volunteering information without being asked. Okay, your partner does not want to have to ask you things about what's going on in your life. If you already have difficulty sharing your world, then this may be harder than normal for you, but you need to get away from that. Okay, most of the people I deal with do not want to be the kind of spouse that checks the phone and always questioning, where you going, where you been? Like, who wants to do that? So you need to help them out by being upfront and open about everything, even if you think it's not a big deal. Also, in conjunction with being transparent, make sure that there are no more secrets. Okay, so if you guys are in the beginning, this is especially true for you, but even if it's been some years and you're trying to work on it, but you hadn't gotten that traction yet, make sure there are no more secrets. Okay, if you're trying to rebuild, but you haven't told your partner everything, you are setting yourself up for more trauma and drama. Number 2, you have to learn how to comfort your partner when they're dealing with the pain of what you did. You got to learn how to comfort them. A lot of times, and men and women cheat, but most of the time it's women, right? And when they see their wife hurting, they want to go the other way and give her space. And no, yeah, you may want to give them space. That's when you actually need to come close to them. Okay. Now, of course, you got to learn from them how to comfort them, but make sure that you are ready and willing to be their rock. Now, I understand this is hard. One thing I tell my offenders is try to see yourself as your partner's best friend, as opposed to seeing yourself as their spouse in those particular times, right? Tell yourself, I'm going to comfort my friend about what their spouse did. It sounds crazy, but until you are secure enough to hear and see their pain without running away or without being defensive, then you're going to prolong the pain. So find a way to be the comfort that they need. All right, number 3, keep your word. Okay? Make sure that don't say things and then not follow through with them. And it could be the smallest of things. I'm not talking about like life-altering decisions. It can be small things. But because you are trying to rebuild trust, every misstep matters. Okay? If you're going somewhere, tell your partner where you're going. If you say you're going to pick up the kids from school on Wednesday, then pick up the kids from school on Wednesday. If you say you're going to cook Friday for the family, then cook Friday for the family. Okay? This helps build trust. Number 4, don't get defensive when your partner asks you questions about the situation. This is not just for new, like people where this is new, even years down the line. Okay? Don't get defensive when they ask you questions. These questions may not come at you in the most pleasant way or the most respectful way, but your role is to not get defensive no matter what. If you get defensive, you're going to derail the rebuilding process. I'm telling you that. Trust me, okay? You have to learn how to ignore the disrespect when it comes to, you have to learn to ignore the disrespect when it comes and give your partner what they need in the moment. Now, I'm not saying just allow them to just mistreat you. What I'm saying is sometimes when their emotions are raw, they may give it to you and it's disrespectful. Learn to block that, give them what they need, and then y'all can talk about the disrespect or whatever later when things calm down. And then this is the number 5, the fifth tip I have for the cheater: go to therapy. Get you some individual therapy. This is the great time for you to go to therapy and work on your individual stuff. Okay? You need to understand why you did what you did, and you also need to heal any limiting beliefs that may have played a part in your decision. So when you go to therapy, have things that you want to work on and be open to the process, especially you men. We're here to help. When I say we, I mean coaches and therapists. Number 1, since you've decided to stay and work on it, you have also decided to forgive. You can't decide to stay together before you forgive, because if you do, you're likely going to damage the marriage more. Okay? When you decided to stay, you also decided to not punish your partner anymore. I know that you're crushed, right? I know it hurts, but crushing your partner won't help your marriage. It won't make things better by you hurting them. I've heard too many stories of spouses treating their partner harshly, and then the person who did the dirt, who did the crime, they just take it because they feel like it's what they believe, and it's what they deserve, and they can't do anything about it. No. If you're more committed to punishing your partner instead of healing your marriage, then you need to let them go. If you're going to punish them, and you're going to punish them, let them, for what? Just let them go. Because if you don't, you're doing way more damage than you can imagine. And I'm talking about to your own soul, not to them. I'm talking about to you. With this first tip, and I talk about forgiveness, let me share a few things with you about forgiveness, because people a lot of times get forgiveness confused, and it's important to get this forgiveness thing right. Forgiveness doesn't mean that I'm over the hurt. If I forgive you, it doesn't mean I've stopped hurting. Right? I may still hurt. Forgiveness doesn't mean, when I forgive you, that doesn't mean we're better. There's work to do. I can forgive you up front, but we still got a lot of work to do. Okay? Forgiveness is not a feeling, it's a decision. So it's not necessarily based on how you feel, because the truth is, I don't know when you're going to feel like forgiving. Forgiveness doesn't mean that your partner can now stop working on themselves. I hear a lot of people say, I didn't want to have sex with them because I didn't want them to think that they have to stop working. I didn't, it's hard for me to be kind to them because I don't want them to think that they got to stop working. So essentially what you're saying is, I'm trying to force them to prove to me that they love me. I'm trying to force them to do something that they may not do otherwise. Most people who have gone outside their marriage, most cheaters, don't think because we have a good day that everything is all gone. Now, what my cheaters do think, if we have a good day, they're thrown off why tomorrow is a bad day. But that's a different thing. But nobody really expects, because we had sex or because something good happened, now all of a sudden it's all over. That wouldn't make sense. Forgiveness simply means you give up your right for revenge. And you may need professional help with forgiveness, actually, because it's not as easy sometimes, especially with this kind of situation. It may not be as easy, okay? So you may need help. Number 2, along with forgiving, make sure that you're always respectful. This is for the victim, right? As much as it depends on you, make sure you're always respectful. I understand that you may not have the capacity to be sweet, to be pleasant, right? Especially in the beginning. But you have to at least be respectful. You can't be disrespectful and try to rebuild at the same time. It's not going to work, okay? You need to treat your partner like a human being. We're together. We're still partners. We got to deal with the pain, but let respect be the baseline of how you treat them. Number 3, this one is important. I am surprised. I ain't gonna lie, I'm surprised that I even have to say this one. But because of what I've seen in my office, really over the last, I'd say 5 years, I gotta say this one. If you've been cheated on, delete any and all evidence of their cheating. Again, let me remind you that I'm talking to couples who've decided to stay together and build a new marriage. Okay, so if you've decided to stay together and build a new marriage, delete all the evidence, right? I've seen clients who kept the email and text messages their partner had with the other person. Whatever evidence you're holding on to, get rid of it. It will do nothing but hurt you. If you decided to stay, get rid of that stuff. What's the purpose anyway? Right? To be reminded of your pain? To punish your partner? To use against them in case things don't work out? If any of these are your reasons, then you haven't decided to stay yet. Number 4, this is also for you a good time to go to individual therapy. Okay? You need someone who understands your situation and who will be empathetic, but also will speak the truth to you in love. Because you may not have cheated, but perfect is what you're not. I've never seen a one-sided marriage where only one person in the marriage is tearing up everything, even with infidelity clients. So go to therapy, right? Now, this is going to help you deal with the trauma. It's going to help you deal with the automatic thoughts, the sleepless nights and all that. But it also can help you become a better spouse all around. Why? Because you don't want to take the old you into a new marriage. Like, let's fix everything. So go to therapy. And then lastly, nothing on this planet lasts forever. Okay? Nothing on this planet lasts forever, including your pain. See, when you're having a bad day, and a lot of times this is mostly in the beginning, but it could be at any time. But when you're having a bad day, it may feel like the pain will last forever or that things will never get better. That's not true. Okay? That's not true. You will have setbacks, but I encourage you not to make life-altering decisions while you are dealing with the deep pain that you're dealing with. Okay? When you're in deep pain, when you're having a bad day, don't make life-altering decisions. Nothing lasts forever. Let me give you 5 tips for the marriage for you guys together as a couple. Number 1, you guys need to prioritize quality time. Quality time. You need to prioritize quality time. All right. What is quality time? Quality time is when you spend time together, focused on each other, not just you both being in the room on the couch watching TV. Okay. Quality time is when we're together and we're focused on each other. We're focused on us. Okay. Now, you don't have to go on dates all the time to get quality time, but however you guys get it in, y'all need to get it in. Why is that? Because we're human beings, which means we're relational. Okay. By us being relational, bonds become stronger when we spend quality time together. And so you guys need to strengthen your bond, so y'all need to spend some quality time. This will also, spending this quality time will also aid in you guys rebuilding trust, right? The part of your marriage that needs the most work is actually the friendship piece, because the friendship is where the like lives, it's where the intimacy lives. So y'all need to spend quality time. All right, number 2. So, and number 2 is supported by number 1. Do the work to learn your partner. Do the work to learn your partner at a deeper level than what you know now. Okay? It doesn't matter how long you guys have been together. You could use some lessons in who your partner is and what has been their experience on the planet. Now, when I say their experience on the planet, I don't simply mean what they've been through, but I mean what they've grown through. Right? How the things that they've been through has shaped their lives. You want to know that. Everybody has a story. And you got to remember that all of us human beings, including you and your spouse, we all live in different worlds. None of us live in the same world. Your world only exists in your mind, nowhere else on the planet. Okay? And so then when you see your partner's behavior, you're going to process it based on the rules of your world. And when you do that, you're going to misunderstand them. Okay. So you got to do the work to understand your partner's world as much as possible. And this will strengthen the love, it's going to strengthen the trust, and it's going to strengthen the friendship. Number three, you need to get professional help. That may not be obvious to some people. I used to think it was obvious, but sometimes I get people who come to me and the affair was like 2 years ago and they never got help. The affair was, I have one couple, the affair was 10 years ago and they never got help. And now I'm working with them. They are way worse than they were 10 years ago. This is not one of those areas where getting advice from your friend is enough. And actually, let me tell you this, talking to your pastor only probably won't work either. You need the right kind of professional help. I consult with couples who are dealing with this. I always tell them, if you don't get help with me, you got to get it somewhere, right? Do not try to navigate these waters by yourself. You're going to make things worse. Okay? So get some professional help. Somebody that can walk with you for the long term and teach you how to do marriage. Because who taught you how to do marriage the first time? Exactly. That same person who taught everybody. Nobody. Ain't nobody taught you how to do this. So how you now going to learn how you all of a sudden going to do it better or well with all of this pain and chaos in the middle of it? You've decided to stay, but you don't know what you're doing. You need some help. Okay, here's the fourth thing. Focus more. This is for both of you. Focus more on what you are giving than what you're receiving. I'm not saying ignore your needs completely. I'm not saying that. But I am saying focus more on what you are giving than what you're getting. Okay? Don't fall into the trap of this back and forth, tit for tat, right? That's childish and destructive to your family. If you're the victim, you may be low in your capacity to give at certain times. Yeah, but give what you can. Okay? If you're the offender, don't spend too much time focused on what they're not giving you credit for. You know, man, I've been doing good all this week and she ain't said I. Don't focus on that. Instead, focus on doing what is right to help them. Also, as the offender, let me say this. You need to not let your partner mistreat you. Now, I know I said earlier to block the disrespect, right? But I also said, too, you don't just let folk mistreat you, including your partner. Okay? It is unloving. It is unloving. I need to make sure you hear that. It is unloving. You are not being loving towards your partner when you allow them to mistreat you because they're doing bad things to their soul. And so if you care about them, don't let them treat you like that. As a matter of fact, just so you know, because some of you have parents, like you may be an adult, but you have parents who mistreat you. It's unloving to allow anyone to mistreat you. It's unloving to them, not to mention to you. So don't do that. Number 5, here's the last one. And this, if I can be honest, this is probably the most important one. Address your idols. Don't tune out. Listen, don't tune out. I need you to lean into what I'm saying here, right? If you do not address your idols, you will suffer greatly and your marriage will suffer. Now, what do I mean by idols? Anything that you go to, that you depend on, that you need in your life or feel you need in your life more than God is an idol.
Idolatry is anything you look at and in your heart of hearts you say to it, if I have that, then my life has value, then my life has meaning. And if I would lose that, I don't know how I would live.
Most couples have made idols out of their partner. They've made idols out of their partner or something that something they believe their partner can give them, like love or approval or even security, right? All these things can be idols. I did a video not long ago about being needy, and it was on this topic of idolatry, right? Listen, do not skip this step. Don't, I'm telling you, if I can come through the screen and grab you, I would. Do not, don't skip this step. If you do not address your idols, I'm confident enough to say, I guarantee nothing else will matter. I got a bonus for you. This is mostly for the victim. Don't try to make your partner prove their love for you. Don't try to make them jump through circus hoops to prove they love you, right? You're going to hurt yourself. When you do things to try to make them prove that they love you, do you understand that whatever they do, it won't register in your heart as love? So it's going to be null and void. All it's going to do is cause more hurt and pain. I hope this was helpful for you. I know it was helpful for you, but I hope that you apply it and use it. No, this is not everything that you need to know. Obviously, like, this is not a therapy session. You need a professional to walk you long term, maybe even for years. Because again, nobody taught you how to do marriage. So no one definitely taught you how to do marriage after infidelity. But hopefully this can get you started. This can give you some guidance. This can help you get on and stay on the right track. I'm going to end with this. Marriage is God's idea. Marriage works when we do it the way he said. Stay tuned. I'm going to do more on this infidelity thing because I know there's a lot of people suffering. And there's a lot of people who are suffering who really want to come through, like they don't want a divorce. And if that's you, I'm here to help. Okay? All right. Y'all take care.